Something is happening in bedrooms everywhere and nobody is talking about it. Men in their 20s have testosterone levels our fathers never dreamed of, but lower. Women in their 30s are entering perimenopause a decade early. Couples who once felt electric now lie next to each other, scrolling in silence. It's not that we've fallen out of love, it's that our biology has fallen out of rhythm. Stress isn't just a feeling, it's a full body hijack. When it lingers, it shuts down the chemistry of connection and turns desire into fatigue. So the question isn't, why don't we want each other anymore? It's, what has stress done to our hormones? Because this isn't a relationship issue. It's a nervous system epidemic, and it's stealing something sacred from us, our capacity to feel alive. Today, I'll show you exactly how chronic stress hijacks testosterone and estrogen, how it kills intimacy and confidence, and how to bring that spark back and that chemistry where it needs to be. I'm Dr. Nikhil Sharma, and after 14 years in hospitals, I saw it firsthand. Our healthcare system doesn't heal you, it manages you. That's why I started A Quick Dose with Dr. Nick. Here, we cut through the noise and talk real health, stress, gut health, brain rewiring, the root causes that actually change your life. Testosterone and estrogen aren't just sex hormones, they're life hormones. They influence almost every system in the body. Testosterone fuels more than libido. It's what gives you energy, focus, and drive. It strengthens muscle and bone, keeps fat off your belly, sharpens your memory, stabilizes mood, and even supports heart health by improving blood flow. Low testosterone doesn't just mean low desire, it means low motivation, slower metabolism, and weaker resilience to stress. And estrogen is just as powerful. It balances the brain's serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals of happiness and reward. It protects the heart by keeping arteries flexible, keeps skin vibrant by boosting collagen, and strengthens your bones. It even fine-tunes your immune system and keeps the gut lining healthy. When estrogen drops, there's mood swings, anxiety, hot flashes, and even joint pain starts showing up. Not because you're emotional, but because your chemistry is shifting. Together, these hormones form the rhythm of human connection and vitality. Picture your body as a live concert. Testosterone is the beat, strong, grounded, propulsive. And estrogen is the melody, warm, emotional, fluid. When they're balanced, the whole room vibrates with energy. But stress? Stress walks in mid-song and cuts the power. The light dims, the sound stops, the audience, your body, goes quiet. In your 20s, the energy is effortless. By your 30s, the natural dimmer starts to turn, normal biology. But throw in chronic stress, junk food, alcohol, poor sleep, and endless notification, and it's like running a concert 24 hours a day until the generator blows. That's why 28 feels like 48. We're not broken, we're burnt out. When your brain senses stress, it flips on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is your body's ancient survival switch. It's the same alarm that once saved us from predators, only now the tigers are deadlines, bills, and phone alerts. That switch stays on, flooding the body with cortisol, raising blood pressure and blood sugar, while shutting down digestion and reproduction. Here's the key. Cortisol and your sex hormones share the same raw ingredient, pregnenolone. When stress is constant, the body steals that material to make more cortisol, leaving less to produce for testosterone and estrogen. We call this pregnenolone steal. Your body's message is simple. Reproduction and pleasure can wait. We need to survive. The result? Low T, low E, and a nervous system stuck in fight or flight. Because you can't be in survival and seduction at the same time. This is where science turns into heartbreak. Because these numbers aren't just labs, their lives. A man under chronic stress can lose up to 40% of his testosterone. That means less motivation, slow recovery, and lower confidence. He feels like he's pushing through life instead of leading it. And he can't figure out why everything that once made him feel alive now feels like effort. A woman under constant stress experiences estrogen crashes that flatten emotion. Her mind races, her body feels tense, her mood swings between anxiety and exhaustion. She's giving her all at work, at home, but she still feels like she's running on fumes. And together, these two people who love each other find themselves trapped in parallel exhaustion. They still laugh at the same jokes, they still remember the love, but something's missing. That chemistry that once felt magnetic now feels muted. He mistakes her exhaustion for rejection. She mistakes his withdrawal for disinterest. And they both start silently wondering if they've fallen out of love, when in reality, their nervous systems are just out of balance. This isn't about willpower, attraction, or compatibility. It's about biology. Because when cortisol dominates, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, gets suppressed. And when oxytocin disappears, we lose our sense of closeness and safety. You can't build intimacy in a body that doesn't feel safe. You can't crave connection when your brain is convinced it's under attack. This isn't a love problem, it's a safety problem. And until we address that, no amount of communication or therapy can fix what the body is blocking. Here's where it gets real. The average couple today has sex once a month or less. The top reasons: stress, fatigue, and lack of time. A recent study found that 70% of adults feel too mentally drained for intimacy. They're not bored with their partners, they're burnt out by life. And when desire disappears, resentment quietly moves in. He feels rejected, she feels unseen. Both start to assume the worst. Then the brain, desperate for a spark, starts searching for dopamine elsewhere, anywhere else, through porn, emotional distractions, extra work, or even affairs. Not because people are broken, but because they're trying to feel alive again. The truth is, you can't shame someone back into desire. You have to regulate their biology first. Because until the nervous system feels safe, it will always choose self protection over connection. Once the body calms, attraction naturally resurfaces because safety is sexy, peace is powerful, and presence, real, grounded presence, is the truest form of foreplay. Now, let's talk about the part that no one sees: what stress does to the mind of desire. Because stress doesn't just suppress hormones, it rewires your brain's reward system. When cortisol stays high, it blunts your dopamine receptors, the very pathways that make pleasure feel good. That's why the things that used to excite you, your partner, a goal, a hug, suddenly feel flat. Your brain literally forgets how to anticipate joy. So what do? We chase quick dopamine hits: caffeine, junk food, porn, endless scrolling. But those micro bursts of fake pleasure only make the crash worse. Over time, the brain confuses stimulation with satisfaction, and that's how we lose intimacy. You can't bond deeply when your brain is surviving shallowly. And this isn't just about sex, it's about identity. Low testosterone and estrogen don't just lower libido, they alter who you believe you are. A man with low T starts questioning his confidence, his purpose, even his masculinity. A woman with low estrogen starts doubting her worth, her beauty, her softness. It's not vanity, it's neurochemistry. When your hormones collapse, your sense of self goes with them. That's why healing isn't about chasing passion, it's about reclaiming your power. This isn't just a personal problem anymore, it's a generational one. We are living through what scientists are calling the great hormone crash. Since the 1980s, male testosterone levels have dropped by 25 to 30%. Sperm counts are down more than 50% worldwide. And the average 22-year-old male today has the same testosterone as a 67-year-old did in 2000. For women, the picture isn't any better. Infertility rates are climbing every single year. PCOS and endometriosis, both fueled by stress and inflammation, are being diagnosed younger than ever. And women in their early 30s are reporting perimenopausal symptoms that used to appear in their mid 40s. So what's happening? We are living in a constant state of cortisol overload. No rest, no stillness, no real recovery. Processed food spikes insulin and disrupts hormones. Plastics and environmental toxins mimic estrogen and confuse the endocrine system. Blue light at midnight tricks your brain into thinking it's noon. And emotional disconnection hides behind the illusion of digital connection. We're overstimulated, undernourished, and undertouched, and our hormones are paying the price. This is why infertility clinics are overflowing, why millions of young men are turning to testosterone therapy before 30, why anxiety, depression, and sexual dysfunction are now the new normal. If we don't change course, this won't just be about fertility, it'll be about human connection itself. Because hormones don't just control reproduction, they control motivation, creativity, bonding, and joy. When hormones crash, societies become fatigued, isolated, and detached. But here's the good news: the body isn't broken, it's brilliant. When you remove the stressors and restore safety, it remembers how to heal. Hormones can recover, energy can return, desire can reignite. We can turn this around. only if we stop normalizing burnout as the price of success. So, how do we fix this? If an entire generation is running on cortisol instead of chemistry, what's the path back? It starts with understanding your body's data, rebuilding what's depleted, and creating the environment where your hormones can finally breathe again. Let's talk about how to test, treat, and truly heal your hormones from the inside out. Step one, test, don't guess. You can't fix what you haven't measured. Ask your clinician or functional medicine provider for a full hormone workup. Total and free testosterone, estradiol and progesterone, DHEA and pregnenolone, morning cortisol curve, a thyroid panel, prolactin, insulin, and your HbA1c. You want to rule out thyroid diseases, nutrient depletion, gut inflammation, or medication side effects. If true deficiency exists, discuss bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. But remember, you can't medicate a nervous system that's still in fight or flight. Here's Dr. Nick's prescription to reignite hormones and desire. 1. Regulate the nervous system. 10 minutes of breath work, meditation, or cold exposure each morning lowers cortisol within minutes. Calm first, then chemistry flows. 2. Prioritize sleep and sunlight. 7 to 9 hours of deep sleep doubles testosterone release. Morning sun anchors the circadian rhythm and boosts serotonin, the precursor to all the feel-good hormones. 3. Lift weights, not just stress. Resistance training, 3 to 4 times a week, naturally raises testosterone and the growth hormone while improving insulin sensitivity. Number 4, eat to build, not inflame. Whole foods, good fats like olive oil, avocado, salmon, veggies, and clean protein feed hormone production. Ditch refined sugar, seed oils, and alcohol. They flatten T and spike cortisol. Number 5, heal the gut and the liver. Your gut microbiome processes estrogen and detoxifies excess hormones. So you want to add probiotics, high fiber foods, and liver supporting greens like arugula and dandelion. Number 6, support micronutrients. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, and B complex vitamins are the raw materials for sex hormone synthesis. Get tested, supplement with intention. Number 7, rebuild connection. Schedule digital free nights. Eye contact, touch, laughter, and play raises oxytocin, the antidote to cortisol. Make presence your new intimacy. Within weeks, energy returns. Within months, libido wakes up. Within a year, you don't just feel younger, your biology proves it. So here's the truth. Low desire isn't a sign of lost love. It's a signal from your body that it's been in survival mode for too long. When you calm the stress response, your hormones heal. When your hormones heal, your confidence, your connection, and your energy return. The real aphrodisiac isn't found in a pill, it's found in peace. And peace isn't passive, it's powerful. I'm Dr. Nick, and this has been your quick dose. If this has opened your eyes, share it with someone you love because stress might be killing your passion, but healing can bring it back to life.